No BS BTS as a 28-year-old business owner. Welcome back to a brand new series that we are going to be doing from time to time on my YouTube channel. And if this is the first time meeting, hello, hi, my name is Michaela. I've been making content on the internet about manifestation, mindset, and manifesting money in your business since 2018. Yeah, your girl's been in it for a long time. And I thought it would be really cool to start a series called No BS BTS, like no bullshit behind the scenes with me, where I kind of talk about things I'm going through in my life, things that have been going on in my mind. I really don't talk about myself that much online anymore, and it's not really going to change. It'll just more be these kind of episodes that we do from time to time and just share like what I'm going through, like what is the behind the scenes. Recently, I did a free experience in Telegram. It was an audio experience where I shared the behind the scenes of kind of what it takes to build a $2 million business. And I really loved that. So I feel like this will be my way of doing that on YouTube from time to time. So let's talk about it. It's a Friday night when I'm filming this. We're cozy on the couch. I'm drinking a matcha at almost 7 p.m. because I can and I have free will. And I'm just going to kind of chat to you. Like, we're going to have a girl talk night. I have my notebook here with my thoughts, my notes, things that I want to touch on that are kind of like my life updates at the moment. So, no BS BTS. What has been going on in Michaela J's world? I am in full blown like prep mode right now in my life. And this is something that I go through waves with. Fun fact about me, I am totally a rebel productivity archetype. I absolutely hate being told what to do. Like truly, I don't function well with that because I started living on my own when I was 15. So I'm not somebody who grew up with a lot of instruction and a lot of boundaries. I've just kind of always done my own thing. So I do not like being told what to do, even from myself. Like that's the most toxic part. Like I will make a great game plan and be like, Michaela, this is like how you need to run your day to get all the things done. And I'll be like, I don't have to listen to you. And then I like go against my entire own schedule, which is the dumbest thing ever. But I'm just such a rebel productivity type to a T. When I found out about that, which I don't even know what that is, I just know that I'm the rebel type. I was like, yeah, that makes so much sense for me. So anyways, this update is like, I'm in full blown prep mode in my life right now. And I have a love-hate relationship with this because I'll go through phases where I really enjoy structure and I want a very, very, very detailed calendar. And this is one of those years where that's something that is required for me. I did a YouTube video talking about my goals for the year and I will list it on the screen somewhere for you to watch. And all of those goals are based off of things that I'm actively doing. So it requires more scheduling and more planning in my calendar, you know? So it's a prep kind of year where you've got to kind of get your shit together. And on top of everything that I'm doing this year in terms of goals and running the business, I'm also currently doing a 100-day challenge. And I'm not going to lie, I haven't decided if I'm going to tell you what it is. I am a gatekeeper. I'm sorry. I'm actually not sorry at all, but I haven't fully decided if I want to share what the challenge is yet. So like kind of annoying I'm even saying it, right? But it's a part of this update. It's like I have to be in prep mode because I'm doing this 100-day challenge. And it also is adding a lot onto my plate on top of all of my massive, massive goals for the year. But the reason why I just started this 100-day challenge on Monday, I'm filming this on Friday. Today would be day 5. Yeah. And it worked out in the perfect timing. When I was kind of contemplating whether or not I was going to do it, it just made so much sense in the timeline because I will be finishing my 100 days around mid-May and we're going to be moving in June. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like what a good way to kind of like end a phase. That's such a thing for me. I'm realizing I always am thinking about, and I think I actually filmed a YouTube video talking about this. Like, I'm always thinking about a power finish. Like, I'm not thinking start, stop. It's like, ooh, how do I bulldoze momentum into the next thing? Like, if I'm closing out the chapter at this incredible house, like, how do I bulldoze into the next home I want to live in? Which, if you watch my goal video, you know, is like this gorgeous, amazing house in Austin, Texas. So I'm like, okay, great. This challenge is going to be the perfect way to, you know, end our time at the house and like really go out with a bang essentially and put myself in such a good spot moving into the apartment. So because I'm doing this 100-day challenge, I've got a lot on my plate right now. I've really realized where I have to have a little bit more organization and I have to be in prep mode. When my husband and I wrote out all of our goals for the year. We did a bunch of these, like, the big Post-it note sticky notes. We did that. We each had a separate one for our goals. He has one for like his vibe of the year, which is very cute. I have one of like things that I need to learn to achieve my goals. And then one of the Post-its that we did together is like, what has to change in order for us to hit our goals? And I can almost guarantee, like 99% sure, one of the things I wrote on it is organization, like organizing my life. Another fun fact about me, like I'm a little bit of a messy person. I'm like, if you could see my closet right now, yikes, that's my project tomorrow. So I'm saying all this just to get to the prep mode. I'm in prep mode right now, which kind of means for me is like I need to get all of my ducks a row in ways that I can support myself. When there's a lot going on, it's like, what can you minimize the weight of in your life? So for example, the prep mode things that I'm actually been doing lately is one, when it comes to the gym, I absolutely hate programming workouts. I've always been that way. I use the First Form app. So I have the plan on there that I'm doing, which is the intermediate traditional bodybuilding plan. And I believe it's 12 weeks long. So when I go to the gym, whatever workout it is that day, that's what I'm pulling up and that's what I'm doing. Unless it's chest day, I skip that because I never train chest. So then I'll just go to the next day one. So prep mode is like, okay, the workouts are all pre-planned for me and they're picked out for me. Great. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm starting to meal prep, which is something I haven't done in a really, really, really long time because I work from home. So it's really no problem for me to go and make meals. But where I've had to shift that is my time. Like, what is worth my time? And on top of that, like, I need to make sure I'm eating throughout the day as well, because I've gotten in so many good like flows with work before. Like, let me know if you relate to this, where then I just like forget to eat lunch, where I'm like, I'm in the fucking zone with either content or filming a training for my clients or working on slides for a course or just whatever I'm working on. Like, I get in the zone and then suddenly it's like 4:00 and I'm like, well, I might as well just like wait to have dinner with my husband. I'll just like have a little snack. But when I'm increasing the output in my life, when I have a lot of things that I'm doing, I have to increase the fuel in my body so I have the energy to keep up with that. So for me, it was like, okay, great. I want to make sure I'm eating 3 times a day. I want to make sure that I'm eating super intentionally and not just like snacking. Like, my favorite snack, I'm not a big snacker, but like my favorite snack is hummus and chips or like veggie chips. So it's like, I want to make sure that I'm not like stuffing my face with that and eating way more than a portion size, because again, goal of the year is undeniable fat ass era, like big booty. Okay. So we also have to eat right if we want to be slim with a big booty. So prepping my food, meal prep. So that's been interesting. Lately, I've been doing overnight oats for breakfast, and I was supposed to do this rice bowl for lunch, but then the rice I got wasn't vegan. Whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. So prepping my food, having my workouts prepped, and then my outfits. So this is a great life hack for you. I used to be somebody that would always pick out my outfits for the week. And then we moved into this amazing, gorgeous house, and we have 4 bedrooms. So one of them is a full walk-in closet room. Like, it's my dream Pinterest, like, build out wardrobe room. And so I love going in there and like picking out my outfit and grabbing my accessories. I have like my belts in there and like my designer scarves and my jewelry. And it's just like such a vibe. It's like Pinterest girl world. So I stopped planning my outfits because I would just go in there and I just be like, okay, time to play Barbie dress up. But I've had to be really, really real with myself this year and think about like, where am I making extra decisions that I don't need to be making? In the gym, okay, with food, with clothes. Even if it doesn't take long, it still takes up that brain space. And I am in this cutthroat era where like that's just not happening. Which reminds me, another thing that I should do, one of my cars is a Tesla, is I should charge my car every Sunday so it's like ready to go for the week. That would be a good thing to prep. So for outfits, here's my life hack. I'm now planning my outfits for the week. In my phone, I have an album literally called My Wardrobe. And every day when I get dressed, I have a full-length mirror on my wall over there, and I just take a quick little selfie of my outfit, and then I add it to the My Wardrobe album. So I have a full range of all of these outfits I've already put together, I've already styled, that I already like, ready to go. So on Sunday, I have a note in my phone that will say outfits for the week, and I assign outfits Monday through Friday that are in the wardrobe album. So I literally will just go and I'll be like Monday, and then I add a photo from the album in my phone. And then from there, I can obviously go and hang up those clothes in my closet, or, whatever. I can like grab them from the closet if I don't want to separate the items. But that has been really helpful because I don't have to think like, okay, what do I need to wear? Okay, what am I going to make for breakfast? What are we going to work out? What am I going to wear? Like none of that. And it makes my life so much easier, especially because with all the things that I'm doing, you guys, like, I have to take a sip of matcha to talk about this one. This series will be really funny because you're going to see like truly how much of a drama queen I am. Like I'm so dramatic, but I don't want to be a 5 a.m. girl. I talked about this in my outs video. 5 a.m. is out for me, babe. It's not for me. But you know what? 5 a.m. is coming for me. I'm not coming for it. 5 a.m. is coming for me. There are so many things that I want to do this year that I do best in the morning. How toxic. How annoying. Like I talked to you guys in my goal video about how I want to start day trading. Best time to day trade is at open, which is at 8:30 in the morning, right? My favorite time to work out is first thing in the morning. And in fact, if I don't work out in the morning, I kind of have a weird day. Like I get so much energy from working out first thing. So it's like, okay, we got to trade in the morning. We need to work out in the morning. All right. And then what's the other morning thing? What's the other morning thing that I needed to do? Oh. And then part of my 100-day challenge, like that, the stuff I have to do for that, I do best in the morning. Are you kidding me? Like, and then there's a part of me that's like, okay, well, where's the compromise? Like what can be moved around? But I also don't believe in compromise and I don't believe in settling. So fitting it all in the morning. And I feel like I've got a good rough schedule, but I also do feel like my life would be better and easier. My day would flow. My day would end earlier if I was waking up at 5 a.m. And that is so annoying. And I'm not doing it yet, but I do fear it's coming for me. So if like in June, I'm like, we're waking up at 5 a.m., don't sue me. Okay. I told you in February, it's coming for me. But I've just been in this prep mode phase, all of that to say, so I can have time to do all of the things that I want to do this year. It's so important that you are cutthroat about what's going on in your life that's like taking up too much time, right? Like maybe if you're going out with your friends and having wine on Thursday nights, you wake up on Friday groggy, you don't want to work out, like you got to be cutthroat, like that's got to be cut. Or you have to have more discipline when you go out with your friends to have a mocktail instead. Like you have to know like what your boundaries are going to be. And again, being cutthroat about that so you can achieve your goals, because like we have 24 hours in a day and we have one fucking life, bitch. So you better take it seriously. I know I am. Like that's where my mindset is. This is no BS BTS. Like I'm like, okay, I've got shit to get done. So like, let's go. So I've just been in a big like prep mode phase, and let me just give you my athlete update. So my word of the year is athlete. Everything I'm doing is like athlete level, athlete mindset, athlete level of execution. My 100-day challenge goes perfectly with that. And this has been my new athlete little training split situation going on. So I do 4 lifts a week in the gym, 2 upper body days, 2 lower body days, which is the perfect split for me. That's always where I've found the best results personally. And then hot yoga once a week. And that one's at 6 a.m. This is what I'm talking about. The 5 a.m. is coming for me because I have to wake up at 5:30. And I actually enjoy it, which is the worst part. Okay, so I do hot yoga once a week. And it's hilarious. I was literally dying at hot yoga this week. And then they played a Drake song. And that's, I swear to God, not the only thing that got me through. Hot yoga once a week, and then finding a mat Pilates class once a week. And I use ClassPass, which is the best ever. If you don't have ClassPass, I'll drop my affiliate link in the description. You get 30 free credits your first month with my link. I use ClassPass for fucking everything. And we're going to talk about that with another point I have on my no BS BTS list. But with ClassPass, that's how I book my hot yoga classes. That's where I find the mat Pilates. Me and my bestie have started going to like Soul Cycle cycling classes based off of the music. It's very important. And we book that through ClassPass. I get facials, massages, everything through ClassPass. And it's so nice because like once you pay for it, you have to use your credits that month. So it makes you prioritize yourself. It's so good. Such a good life hack. So that's my workout split right now. I'm pretty much moving 6 out of the 7 days a week, 4 days in the gym, 1 day at hot yoga, 1 day at mat Pilates, because I just feel like that's a really good split. And then one like full rest day. But one thing that's been on my mind is I really want to focus on getting my steps in again. I have just not really been tracking them, which one, I don't think you need to track them. Like it's really not that deep when you know how long it takes you to walk. Like I know 10K steps is about an hour and a half of walking every single day. So it's like, are you getting in an hour and a half of walking? Yes or no? Like I don't care about the actual count, but I do know for me, when I think about the time that I was in like the best shape of my entire life, I was actually doing like 15 to 17K steps a day, which is a crazy amount. It's like 3 hours of walking a day. That's when I lived in LA. So I would walk to the gym sometimes. I would walk to coffee and back every single day. I would take walks while I would do calls with clients because at the time I was only doing like audio only calls. Now all my clients love being on video. So now I can't, do walks at the same time, but it was just like different circumstances at the time. But I was walking constantly and I loved it. I was in great shape. Walking is so good for you. And I really want to get back to that place. Like I really want to be prioritizing that. I live in a great neighborhood to go walking. I walk before and after the gym usually, but I want to be more intentional about it. And so right now my learning curve that I'm in is how are we going to find the time for this, right? It's always a timing thing. When we're even thinking about 10K steps, about an hour and a half walking a day, if I'm waking up at 5 a.m., it's so easy. Oh, this is what I mean. If I woke up at 5 a.m., I'd be like a fucking piece of cake. I could get my workout done. I could do all of the walking and then be good to go for the day. I'm just so resistant to the 5 a.m. Like, I just don't like it. It's hard because I'm a morning person, but I'm also a night owl. So like, how the fuck is that supposed to work? I think I'm like meant to sleep midday, like a lizard or something. So right now, a big learning curve I'm in is like, how are we going to get these steps? And I think it's really helpful to do walks throughout your day. I think that's really how people who are very busy are fitting in a lot of steps is throughout the day. Like they're doing a good push in the morning. They're doing maybe like a midday walk. Like they take their dogs out midday walk. They work on the walking pad, a walk at night. Like it's throughout the day. And I think that's amazing. It's just, it doesn't always work for my schedule personally because I'm filming a lot. And when I go for a walk, like I'm getting all hot, sweaty, and gross. And then I come home and I film and I just feel nasty. So it's like, I either need to get all of my filming done like first thing in the day, or I have to do like all of my walking, or I do all of my walking at night, which means I have to get all of my work done. Like, it's kind of like this jigsaw puzzle I'm currently figuring out. And I have a walking pad, which I absolutely love. It's not the easiest for me to work on because I don't have a desk that you can like raise. I used to, but then I left it in LA. So I can't like work on the walking pad unless I'm on my phone, which is fine. But if you have a walking pad at home, they're very slim. And when I'm on my phone, sometimes I feel like I'm going to fall off. So the best time for me to walk on the walking pad is if like I have a YouTube video on my TV. So like watch the YouTube video, or I'll watch a training from one of my mentors, or something like that while I'm walking, not like looking down on my phone because then I feel like I'm going to lose my balance. So I'm kind of navigating this step situation right now, and I have not found the answer, but all I know is that I'm fitting it in when I can right now. So like I said, I walk before the gym, I walk after the gym, and then in the evenings I go for a walk, but I know it's not hitting the numbers that I want it to hit. So that's something that is like no bullshit, like something that I'm navigating behind the scenes while I am in this big output phase of my life. Like I'm working a lot. I'm exhausted every single day, but in a good way, right? I'm stretching my capacity. I'm stretching myself into a new level of execution, a new identity. I'm adding in a lot of things that are my goals for the year. So it's like I end the day really tired, but really proud of myself. And it's such a good feeling. And now it's like, okay, how do we make all of the pieces come together, right? So that's kind of a puzzle that I'm putting together, but I want to take things one step at a time because right now I'm like, how do we fit all the things that I want to do in the morning, and we'll worry about those steps too, and I think on the weekends, it's super easy to get in steps because on Saturdays, I usually work Saturdays. My husband works Saturdays. So it's kind of like a bonus work day for me, but I only work like a little bit. And then I just have to do my 100-day challenge and I'm pretty much good to go. And then Saturdays are usually when I go to Pilates. So that's an easy day to get in a fuck ton of steps. I'm like, I wish I could batch steps for the week. I'm like, if I get 50,000 steps on a Saturday, am I good till Thursday? No, but it's so easy on Saturday and on Sunday, but it's really during the work week is something that I'm navigating right now and figuring out, because I also usually don't stop working until 7:30 or 8 o'clock. And then sometimes, because that's around when my husband gets home, and then sometimes after we eat dinner, I actually go and I work more. Like if you guys saw the behind the scenes of my life, you'd be like, holy shit, this girl works a lot. And trust me, I'm right where I want to be. Okay. That's exactly what I want. I am not the entrepreneur who's like, I want to like make money in my sleep in my bathtub and like never talk to anybody and not do anything. Like, yes, I want to make money in my sleep and in my bathtub, and I do. But I really like to work. Like I actually like working. I'm not the type that wants to do nothing and make lots and lots of money. Okay. So those are just like some things. And that's my athlete update. That's my new training split. That's what I'm doing. The steps thing I'm navigating. Doing the meal prep has been really good in terms of nutrition. I am recording, talking, working a lot. So I chug a fuck ton of water every single day. So like I'm really nailing it in terms of the athlete vibes right now. So that's been really good. And on the athlete energy on the other side, right? Because part of the athlete year is having off season is what I'm calling it, right? That's one of my priorities of the year. And when you're an athlete, you have to take care of yourself because you're training a lot, you're exerting a lot of energy. So you also need to repair your body, whether that is having baths, that's red light therapy, that's making sure you're getting the right amount of sleep, okay? Getting massages and stuff. So one thing I've actually started to integrate back into my life are solo date days. Now, this is something I talk a lot about with work when I am working with clients who are wanting to manifest like their dream man, their dream relationship. It's like, okay, well, you always need to treat yourself how you would want to be treated, essentially, because that makes you the energetic match. I could talk about this forever. If you want a manifesting your dream man video, let me know in the comments. But I used to talk about how, or I do talk about how in LA, when I lived in Los Angeles, I used to go on a solo date every single Tuesday night, no fail. It was the best time ever. I loved it so much. And I would take myself to my favorite taco restaurant. I ordered the same thing every fucking time. I would get 3 tacos. I would get chips and guac. I would get a glass of rosé. I would sit in the same booth. I would bring my laptop. And so I would either like do some work on my laptop, or I'd be like brainstorming, or I would just bring my journal and do some journaling. And I would take myself out every single Tuesday. And then there were some weeks that it's like, I don't really feel like being out and about. So I would order that food for pickup, and then I would just get some wine for myself. And then I would eat tacos and drink wine in the bathtub and usually watch like Twilight or something cheesy. And it was the best. Oh my gosh, it was the best. And I don't know, like somewhere along the lines, I just kind of stopped doing it, especially because I'm with my husband every single night, all the time. But I was like, oh, I should actually really start spending my Saturdays making them solo date days, like while my husband's at work. And I'm like, that would be so nice, because when you have an increase of output going on, you also need to increase your personal input. The only reason why I can add all these things onto my plate where I'm really busy is because I take care of myself. If I wasn't taking care of myself, I'd be in rough fucking shape. Like if I'm sleeping 3 hours a night to like make all this happen, I'm not eating and I'm not like doing anything for myself, like I would look like shit. I would feel like shit. I wouldn't be happy. So when you're increasing the amount that you're doing this year, like executing on, you also need to increase how you're taking care of yourself. So that was another thing I had to be honest with myself about. Like, oh, okay, like we really need to step it back up. So I'm back on my solo date day vibes. I'm going to be doing them on Saturdays. I did one last week and it was so nice. So this is what I wanted to say about ClassPass as well. You can book blowouts on ClassPass. You can get like a manicure, you can get a pedicure, you can get your brows done, your lashes done, you can get blowouts. Like it is so endless what's on ClassPass. So last weekend I got in, what did I do? I got in a workout. I got my hair done. Let's cut that. So last Saturday, I woke up early. I had a nice morning to myself. I got my favorite coffee. I went to Target to get the Poppy Shirley Temple. To die for. I went and I got a blowout. My hair looked incredible. I had the best time. I used ClassPass to book it. It was so amazing. After that, I went to the store and I bought myself a bouquet of flowers. They're in my office, or I would show you. They're pink roses. So gorge. And then I got stuff to make one of my favorite lunches, which is like this vegan rice bowl. And it was so good. And I like watched some YouTube videos because I love watching YouTube videos. I'm like, oh, it's just such a vibe. Like I love a vlog. I love a little chit chat, hangout video. So yeah, I did that. And then what did I do after that? I think I ended up getting some work done. Well, more so, actually, no, that was the day that I was debating starting my challenge. So I was doing some journaling about whether or not to start the challenge. And then I kind of did some research around the challenge. And then I kind of mentally decided I was going to start it on Monday. So I just had like a whole little day to myself, which was so nice. And then I got ready and went out with friends on Saturday night. So it was just such a good reminder that it's like, take care of yourself, have fun with yourself, like spend intentional time with yourself, and like making yourself your favorite meal and putting your Shirley Temple poppy in a wine glass and make your food pretty. Don't just like throw it all in a bowl, like actually date yourself. I started doing that when I lived in Bali in 2020. I would always plate my food as if like treating myself like I was at a fine dining restaurant. I used cloth napkins at the villa I was at. I would lay out a full spread of utensils like forks, spoons, knives for every single meal. I was really intentional about how I placed food when I was cooking at home. I always drank water out of my wine glasses. Like it was always a setup. I would light candles. I would play like a vibey YouTube video, or like I would put on like the YouTube fireplace. And it just makes you feel some type of way. It's like, that's how you would be presenting food if you're making a beautiful meal for your man, for your family, for your best friends. Like, why not do that for yourself too? So that's something that I've been adding in, and it's so on par with the athlete energy, because you have to take care of yourself. If you want to keep executing at that level, you've got to take care of yourself. So I'm really excited to continue to piece this together. When I'm going on my solo date day tomorrow, I've got Pilates scheduled. But after that, I need to plan out my date. So we will see. I'm also thinking about doing a series on TikTok around my little date days. So let me know if you want to see that. Let me know in the comments. Okay, let's see what else that I have to say. Oh, okay. So then part of this is like, now that I've been so busy, so freaking busy, right? Aren't we all? But being busy, adding these to the schedule, figuring out the walking, locking the fuck in, being brutal with my time. I'm also navigating this like, okay, how often do I want to be socializing versus how often do I want to be like locked up in the house? And this is like my lifelong debate. I am an introvert. I love being alone. I love being alone so much. I'm an extroverted introvert. Like obviously I can fucking talk forever. I have so much to say about everything. I have opinions about everything. So I'm definitely an extrovert introvert. Like I can talk and talk and talk, but I recharge alone. I love alone time. And if I don't have alone time, like I am not in a good place. Like I really crave my own space and my own time and just being with myself and my thoughts. That's why my solo date days, I usually take myself out to eat, because I can just be there and be alone with my thoughts. And it's not like taking myself to the movies or like an activity. It's like I want to sit with my thoughts and myself. So I'm currently in this phase of like, okay, what's the balance? And I actually don't fucking believe in balance. Like that's a corporate America thing. But it's like, what is the amount? I mean, there's just no better word for it, right? So it's like, what's the balance between like staying in and like going out and socializing? Because a lot of my friends are entrepreneurs, so we can go, get a midday matcha. We can go for a walk and a brunch on a weekday. Like we can do those types of things, but it's also the boundaries of respecting my work schedule and then also respecting the new goals that I'm moving forward. And even for the weekends, like I enjoy working on Saturdays because I'm home all alone. It's just like, it feels like an extra day when other people usually aren't working, unless you clock in for a shift somewhere. Usually people aren't working. So I like to feel that feeling of getting ahead. So it's kind of like, oh, do I socialize? Do I stay in? Like, what's that balance? Like, when do I meet with friends? How often? Like, do I see them once a week? Do I like make time for multiple times a week? Is like every other, once a month? Like, that's so an adult thing too, that I'm just navigating. And I feel like it depends on the era that you're in and how things are changing. Because on top of that, like externally, I have lived all over the fucking place, and all of my friends live in different places. So then on top of that, I am always scheduling in like FaceTime catch-ups with my friends. So then you're taking into consideration their schedules, different time zones. So then there's nights where I'm doing friend catch-ups and then going out, and then it just feels like I'm giving a lot of my time to a lot of people. And I want to, because it's like I want to see my friends, but I also need to recharge alone. So that's just like something that's been going on in my head because I've been so cutthroat about my time and finding time. And I'm really just wanting to not have to wake up at 5 a.m. Like, I feel like my husband was telling me this. He's like, your whole life would get easier if you woke up at 5 a.m. Like, people say that a lot with business. Like, what's the one business action step that if you started doing that, it would change everything in your business? And he's like, everything would be so much easier if you woke up at 5. And he's not fucking wrong. Like, I would end my day earlier. I would have time to socialize, or like time for a solo date, or downtime to rest. Like, it would really make my life easier. I just don't want to do it. Like, it doesn't vibe with me. I'm much more of a 6 a.m. girl, like specifically 6:30. So, and it doesn't seem like that makes much of a difference, but it really does. Navigating those up and downs, and part of that, like why I feel like I'm actually having that conversation with myself, other than like the time management prep mode, is because I had the fucking flu, right? And I talked about this in the podcast this week. I had the flu and it wiped me out. Oh my God. So like I had plans and calls and all of the things going on. And then when you have the flu, like, I was like dying in bed. So I obviously had to cancel everything. And then I would like move calls. And then when I moved them, I was still sick. So I just wiped everything off of the calendar, right? And other than like client calls, we got all of that rescheduled. But now it's like, okay, now I have to play like catch up with those plans on top of the new plans, on top of the plans and plans and plans and plans. And it's a champagne problem. Like, that's all I want to entertain in 2026. Champagne problems, like first world problems. Like, oh, I'm just like so booked and busy. Like, oh man, I just like had to lay in bed and like rest and like couldn't talk to anybody. Now I just have so many people to talk to. It's really not like that, but I'm just being silly with myself. So that's kind of the no BS BTS that's going on in my life right now. I am fighting against my own free will of being a rebel productivity type and really always wanting to rebel against structure. Like, it's funny because I'm also a Capricorn, so like we're very work hard, play hard, and a lot of Capricorns are very regimented. And sometimes I am, and sometimes I'm not. And sometimes I am, and I feel great, and then I start feeling good, and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to be told what to do. It's like a self-sabotage thing that we are fighting through, because this year, like, there's just no room for that anymore. So we're getting on the schedule shit. We're in prep mode. The athlete year is well underway. We've added in solo dates again. So let me know if you want that series on that, because it's going to be so much fun for content. I'm doing a 100-day challenge, which I'm not telling you about, but that's taking up a lot. It's just like, okay, how do we manage this next level of the calendar, essentially, and spending our time? And one of my mentors at First Form, we would have this conversation probably like every 6 months, where I would get to this point where I'm like, oh my God, I added so much onto my plate. Like, how the fuck am I going to make it through? Like, this is so much. And she would always tell me, like, come back to the calendar. She actually would give me really good questions that I should journal through again. She would always ask me, like, go back to the calendar. Like, what's actually producing results? Because a lot of times some things won't, and we just keep doing them because it's what we've always done. So it's like, what's actually producing results? Double down on that. What's not? Cut that shit out. What can you delegate, right? I'm like, yes. So what are we delegating? Like, who are we hiring? What do we need support with? Like, how do you want to spend your time? She had like all these questions, but I remember those 3 specifically, if you're in the same phase. And so then we would kind of like rearrange things, and then I would feel like it was much more manageable, which is totally my up level cycle that I talk about all the time, right? You start the quantum leap, you're in that phase where you're like, oh my God, everything's fucking crazy. I'm not ready for this. I feel like I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And then you manage, you reevaluate, and then you normalize it, and you're on the other side. So I'm like on that downward slope where it's like, okay, everything has been really fucking crazy, but I think I'm getting a hang of it. And it's really important in this phase, when everything's like kind of chaotic and you're figuring out the up level and you're figuring out the new schedule and all the new things, to not be judging yourself for anything that like slips through the cracks, right? Because when you've got like this amount of stuff going on and rearranging and prioritization, it's inevitable when you're up leveling that a couple of things are going to slip up. Like, you're learning to navigate and balance out a new level of execution, a new level of being. And I have noticed in the past when I would up level, I'd really be judging myself like, oh, I dropped the ball there. I didn't finish that. And I'd just be so frustrated, like, well, I'm so disciplined. Like, why is that falling through the cracks? Or this is the standard I hold. And I don't want anybody to think I'm not holding that standard and that that's not important to me, because it is important to me. Like, I would go through this whole like judgment shame spiral, and now I'm just not available for that, right? Like, it takes up so much extra energy and there's just no reason. And there's a lot of power in being like, yeah, like I'm up leveling, I'm adding a lot onto my plate, and shit's a little bit fucking crazy over here, and a couple things slip through the cracks, and then I just reach down in the crack and I pull it out. Like, then I just figure it out, right? And when you're in that kind of phase, I think it can be really helpful to have a gist day, I always call it. Get your shit together day. And I do this all of the time when I'm in like that messy phase. It's like, okay, well, I actually just did this the other day. Like, the top half of my notebook list was things that I needed to get done and that I felt like I was falling behind on, things that I was late on, which is not my typical standard. But again, like, I'm navigating a new level. So there's going to be grace with myself there, right? So I like just write a list of every single thing that I am either like behind on, that I need to catch up on, that's a top priority that needs to get done, something that I've been thinking about over and over and over again that we just need to cut out because it's taking up too much brain space, and then have a day where you just power through that fucking list. Because what people end up doing is they let things slip through the cracks, so they get late or whatever, and it's understandable because you're doing something most people won't do. You're taking your execution to the next level, but then they shame themselves for it. They make up all of these stories. It impacts their identity. It impacts how they feel about themselves. And then they put themselves in like a little shame cave where they're like, you suck. And it just doesn't help anything when you could just as easily be like, okay, yeah, I'm noticing these are some things I need to get done. Yeah, I'm noticing a couple of these things. It's just feedback, and I'm going to give myself grace, but I'm also going to put it in the fucking calendar. And actually, I'm going to do it just say, I'm going to do it just say this day, whatever. For me yesterday, but that was my gist day on Thursday. It was like, okay, I was noticing some things like piling up from the week, and I'm like, all right, we need to clear the calendar and have a gist day. Like, I'm not going to make any mental drama about it. I'm just going to put it on the calendar tomorrow and get that done first thing, so I feel open, clear, and ready to go. Like, it gets to be that easy. And that's how we successfully up level. But I'm not trying to make this a coaching video. I'm trying to make this no BS BTS. But that's been a part of my BTS. That's the no bullshit thing. It's like, oh yeah, I also have some weeks where some things fall through the cracks. It's just the difference is between me and most people is I'm not going to judge myself and shame myself for it. I'm just going to make a plan to fix it. So that is my girly catch up chat for you, my no BS BTS. Being a 28-year-old entrepreneur who's doing a million fucking things all the time. And then on top of doing a million things, I decided to do a 100-day challenge. And I'm also gearing up for a trip in 2 weeks. I'm going to be going to New York City for a really, 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 really exciting opportunity. And then literally from New York City, I'm flying directly to Turks and Caicos to meet a client for a VIP weekend. Like, there's just pretty much after these next 2 weeks, I'm traveling like crazy. So we are getting into the trenches. Yes, we are. And that's why this phase of prep and being structured and cleaning up our time and kicking out distractions and figuring out like how I want to balance my time, adding in the solo dates so I'm having more input is going to be more important than ever. So thank you for listening to this long rant. If you have made it this far and hung out with me on my Friday night, I hope that you got some good value from this and kind of seeing the behind the scenes, how my brain works, things that I'm doing and shifting and changing. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments and maybe some of the no BS BTS stuff that you are navigating right now. And I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.